Anyway, if you go back to those models, if you look at the way a corporate expands, it can either directly invest using its money, or there can be professional investment coming out of insurance and super funds, or they can use an MIS. Now basically, the first two are motivated by making the exercise profitable. Actually, you've got to do it to make a profit. The third one is all motivated by tax avoidance. If you were an audience of financial advisors, I would make Flat Jacket Johnny look an amateur, because I'd have to wear Ned Kelly's armoury. They hate me because it's a racket and they're making a lot of money out of it. But the motivation of number three is tax avoidance. And the people who invest haven't got a hope of making a profit. Haven't got a hope. So 1 and 2, corporate behaviour, is very different to 3. Now I'm being simplistic because I would like you to ask me where the superannuation industry is going now. And I'm starting to think 2 is a bit of a problem too. Alright, now the thing about me as an owner-operator is I can't do anything unless I can make a profit, otherwise I'm not there. Now that makes life very different. And the other thing is I don't have the availability of capital, and so I'm a bit limited, but it also means that my decisions are very hard and a line ball about how to do things. Who are some of the most innovative people in the Australian economy? Farmers. Why? Because there's no fat there. You've really got to think your way from A to B in the most efficient way. I mean, we get together and have fits of laughter at what the corporates do. It's really quite funny if it weren't for the fact that it's sad. Now this is just simply run through very quickly the arithmetic. Some of you have seen it before, but this gives you an idea of actually how it works. These figures were figures that we knocked out more than 12 months ago. They've changed a little bit, but it doesn't matter because it's actually how they work that matters for your understanding. And I do note that the company that is most dominant in this state is cheaper. They don't charge $9,000 for a unit, which is a hectare. They were charging $6,000, and they explained to the Australian Stock Exchange, I think, that's because they want to get as much land as possible. So they want as many investors as possible. Anyway, the standard price if you're going to a financial advisor and you invest is $9,000, probably $10,000 for some of them now, and was $10,000 at this stage for one great something. There's a GST component in that, and the promoter, that may be Guns, Great Southern, Wilmot, you name it, is going to end up with 8182, and they stated, after we made a fair amount of problems for them in the press, that it cost them $4,320 to plant that hectare and fulfil the product ruling, which is what you get to legally be a managed investment scheme. We reckon it's somewhere between $1,200 and $1,800. But anyway, they claim that. That means that they would be left with a profit of $2,704, and they would actually pay tax of $1,158. Now you see the profit is 30%. They were walking around at the time we were doing this saying we make 40%. The figures are pretty rubbery. But that's how it divides. Remember that most of these product rulings, what they've got to do is get trees in the ground, or grapevines, or whatever the product of the managed investment scheme is about. With most of the tree ones, they've got to make sure the trees are in, they're growing, and they've been managed for 5 years. And then insurance and all sorts of other things change too, and the onus keeps falling back to the investor. Okay? Now, we used to say they use the money to buy land, and that's not legal under these arrangements. They say, no, we don't, we pay taxes just like everyone else. with a profit margin of 30 to 40% from this little exercise. It goes in the bank, and for the next investors they use it to buy the land. It's all a technicality. Okay? Remember, this is a corporate exercise, and who bought the land for them, really?